So it's September 11th, interview with Councillor Bernard Priest. So the Clean and Green Initiative, Places Initiative, you were quoted in the Manchester Evening News yesterday as saying it's important for both residents' pride and international visitors. How do you think that a resident whose daycare centre has been closed or their library is being closed because of the Condom Cuts would feel about street cleaning and one-off investments in prettifying the city versus meeting their short-term needs? How would you sell it to them?
Well, it's mercifully not my job to sell it to them, but I would imagine that someone who is suffering from the very sharp end of the government cuts is going to find it difficult to understand a citywide agenda for very, very clear and understandable reasons. If it was me who was feeling that my elderly relatives were suffering, I think I would probably say you address this issue first. But we have to take a longer term and bigger vision of the city. Clearly we want to make sure that all of our citizens have the care and the support and the facilities and the access to sports facilities, libraries, parks and all the rest of it. £300 million worth of cuts every year make it very difficult to do that. We have a little windfall here, it is a little windfall, and we've agonised about how best to invest it to the benefit of all Mancunians. We think that making the city notable for being an attractive and clean and green city will bring benefits to all of us that outweigh some of the devastating cuts from the government. So it is about trying to do something that makes the city more successful. And I do appreciate that if you are someone who is in need of very specific care, you will be daunted by the future. But by making the city more successful, we believe that benefits everybody, including those who are more vulnerable.
Two questions. Isn't that trickle down?
I don't know, because I'm not entirely sure that I've ever been persuaded by what trickle down is. All I know is that if a company is saying, are we going to invest in putting our new headquarters in Manchester or in Berlin, and they go to those two places, I want them to look at Manchester and say, this looks like a better place to be. I want people who want to live in Manchester to feel comfortable that it's a good place to live. We are not competing with London, we're competing with Berlin, with Barcelona, with Madrid. We have to be a city that attracts attention for tourism, investment and people wanting to live here. That's absolutely critical. If we don't get that right, I think the ordinary Mancunian's future is pretty bleak.
Final question. Councillor Wheel, Leader of the Opposition, was advocating a much broader public participation, consultation in the decisions on how this money should be spent. What's your response to that?
That he's misunderstood what we said. This is about all of Manchester getting together to look at how we spend this money. But that doesn't mean it's a free-for-all and it's a grab, and this is not a jumble sale we're running. What we're asking people of Manchester to do is to engage with us through the normal processes, through community groups, through ward coordination systems, or emailing me. I mean, however they want to do it, to get involved. But ultimately the decisions have got to benefit Manchester in the long term. We cannot see this as just a quick boost to clean the city up. We've got to change the way things happen in Manchester for the long term. And
that's going to full my understanding is that decision has to go to full council on the 9th of October to be signed off, was what I was told. Can you comment on that?
It will be signed off
at full council. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.